Yeah, we can see your screen now.
Yeah, thanks for the confirm. So there are a lot of tools in the market for the automation to automate the application. But coming to the TOSCA, it is a 0% coding automation tool. So we no need to any coding knowledge, not required any coding knowledge, not required anything. Just need to know how the application will work, and everything is in the UA only. No need to write any logics also at backend also. We have to build the logics and everything at the UA only. Every feature is there. Just we have to know how to use it. That's it. So with the help of the TOSCA, we can automate total end-to-end applications, whether it may be SAP application, web application. We have number of applications in the market. So we can automate number of applications through the TOSCA. Okay. Then, and coming to the first, this platform is created by the ECLAT Training. So ECLAT Training is one of the best online training platform. Mainly, we are focusing on delivering 100% practical knowledge. Like there are a lot of training institutes are there, but they'll say the concept like theoretically. If you know the concept by theoretically, it may not be you not be remember for the long time. But if you know the concept by the practical knowledge, there is a huge difference between. You can take an example. There is a huge difference if you have visited some of the visiting place, tourist place. If you listen it, you may be forgot about after 1 or 2 months their their pride and everything, the visibility. If you experience it, definitely you will remember for a long time. In the same way, if you know the concept by theoretically, you may not remember for the long time. If you do it, if you learn it by the theoretically instead of theoretically, if you learn it by the practical way, you can remember for the long time. We have to understand the concept. So the way of approach is different for the remaining institutes and the ECLAT training. Okay. So coming to the overview of TOSCA, TriScientist TOSCA is a software testing automation tool developed by the TriScientist. Developed by the TriScientist company. So a software company focused on the providing software testing solution to the enterprise market, which means the TriScientist provided the software of TriScientist TOSCA to automate the end-to-end applications in the market. Okay, it has located at Mountain View, California, and there are several branches also available all over the world. And the main feature of the TOSCA, like it supports the graphical user interface. While coming to the other automation tools, you need to write the code at the backend and logics. You can't see that which other automations are not having GUI, graphical user interface. You can see this UI, you can see GUI, but TOSCA is having GUI. You can see everything in the UI interface. You can do the work at the UI interface only. Everything you can see. And also, apart from the GUI, it supports the command line interface. Through the command prompt also, we can instruct the TOSCA to automate the application. And in the same way, it integrated test management system. Like if you know the testing, you have like knowledge of defect management tools, Jira, Qtest, HPALM. Like for DevOps and all, we have like Jenkins and everything. So TOSCA can be integrated with the test management system and all other tools like Jira, HPALM, Qtest. We can integrate the TOSCA with those other tools. Now we can see we have plenty of automation tools in the market involved. Coming to this, we have mainly Selenium, Cypress, EFT, and TriScientist TOSCA. Main tools you can listen these tools only. While coming to the Selenium, it may support wide range of. It may not support wide range of applications. It will support only web applications, but it will support web applications fully. But it will not support any other applications like XML, APIs, SAP like that. It cover almost 100% in the web, but it will not cover the remaining application. And that too, Selenium will. If you want to work in the Selenium, you should have a coding knowledge of Java. At least you should have a coding knowledge of core Java. And in the same way, Cypress also, You should have there are several commands are there, and you should have a coding knowledge of JavaScript. For the Cypress, we should have a coding knowledge of JavaScript. And coming to the EFT, it is also one of the most automation tool. Like you can go to the previous 20 years back, like that. EFTs ruled that automation at that time, and previously it is QTP. Now it is changed to EFT. But ultimately, EFT also required VB script. VB script is required VB script. To overcoming all these things, now TOSCA is moving to the first place. It is a Tricentis TOSCA which required no coding. No coding is required. Everything is in the GUI. If you know how to use the particular feature, it is enough. It supports the drag and drop functionalities. In every automation tool, we have to build frameworks and everything. Want to create the test cases, you have to execute the test cases somewhere, and we have to create the framework. But in TOSCA, there is inbuilt a framework. So it makes the differences between the other automation tools to the TOSCA. So Tricentis TOSCA is a pure zero coding automation tool. No coding knowledge required. Any coding, no coding is required. If you know how to use TOSCA, that is enough to automate the application. Why to learn TOSCA? Like as we discussed now, we have no coding knowledge is required, no scripting is required, and in the same way, we have a easy to use interface. In some other applications, we have to write the codes and everything, and we can see execution also, execution only. But coming to this, we can easy to use interface. Everything is, we have a GUI, we can do everything is an interface only. And in the same way, it supports multiple technologies like SAP, Oracle. The main advantage is this only. A lot of applications will support web applications only, but coming to here, it supports multiple technologies: SAP, Java, XML, and also mainframe applications. And one tool having multiple features. Like as we discussed, every feature is in the TOSCA only, and we can integrate with the multiple tools. And in the same way, we have a inbuilt framework. So one tool having multiple features. Okay. The main advantage of TOSCA is Vision AI. In the recent coming TOSCA like versions, we have a Vision AI. Vision AI is work on the, for example, a simple logic like if you want to work with the TOSCA, you have to create a modules which having the properties. Then you have to create the test cases. Then you can execute the test cases. Up to now, everyone is doing like that only, like any other automation tool also, and TOSCA also. For that, you need to write a code. For this, you can use it by using the user interface. You can automate. But coming to the Vision AI, if you do any mistakes while creating the model, so it has a self-healing property. So with the help of the Vision AI, it will automatically take the properties which are required to automate the application. It makes a complete difference. It's changing the way of automation in the recent times. Okay, and in the same way, Vision AI also provides self-healing test capabilities and can be trained to automate test for custom and proprietary applications that may have controls that hard to identify. If you are feeling hard to identify the controls, with the help of the Vision AI, we can identify controls easily. It has a self-healing test property. Then coming to the main features of TOSCA. The main feature highlights are it support model-based test automation. As we discussed, we have to create a modules, then we have to create the test cases. Which means it work on the model-based testing instead of creating a code like instead of coding. It support model-based testing. We have to create the modules, and that's it. After creating modules, that is only called as a coding. By using the TOSCA feature, then we can automate the application. And it supports plenty of 60+ applications. This is the main feature of the TOSCA, then compared to all other automation tools. Almost all other automation tools are support web application mainly, then 2 to 3 like mobile applications and everything. But mainly it supports web application, SAP, API, XML, mainframe, and other 60 plus applications it can support.
One quick question. Does it
Yeah.
support any application which runs on Linux and Windows platforms?
Windows platform it can support.
How about Linux?
Linux, I'm not sure about the Linux, but Windows
Okay.
it can support.
Okay.
Desktop applications also we can automate.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They may be planning to introduce that with the work with the Linux as well, but I'm not sure whether it is coming or it is in progress. Okay, and it supports, for example, any other automation tools can't automate SAP and API applications. Almost coming to the reality in like what are the organizations they are testing the SAP application, mainly SAP application, they will choose TOSCA. They are choosing TOSCA. They are migrating from other automation tools to TOSCA because of SAP. Purely SAP. We have plenty of applications it is supporting, but while coming to the SAP, for example, if you want to automate any end-to-end application in the SAP, it may take for other automation, it may take 3 hours. 3 hours to create the test case or execute the test case or something. We can do it within 1 hour, 1 hour, only 1 hour.
I have one question.
Yeah, please.
What's to the cloud platform? Is it supports the cloud platform?
Yeah, it's suppose we can integrate with the cloud platform.
AWS, GCP.
Yeah.
I think yes, because it supports API, right? Maybe.
Yes. With the API, we are connecting to different cloud platforms.
Like testing in the cloud platform based on the services, how it will integrate. In API, we can call.
No, through the API, we can connect. We can't directly test the cloud platforms. Through the API, we can.
Okay.
Okay. Then where we have stuff. Yeah, for SAPs. So in the recent times, TOSCA has into the market from past 10 years. Almost it has introduced in the 2009 year, but it coming to the market starting working operations from 2011 and 2012. From there onwards, it at last now it is coming to the top 2. So because of it supports wide range of applications, mainly coming to the SAP. Now almost in every company, almost every automation tools, they are migrating from other automation tools to the TOSCA to reduce the time, at the same time to reduce the efforts. They require a lot of skilled people for other automation tools, like additional skills. But TOSCA, it's if you know the how to use the application, that is enough. And the main other advantage feature is risk-based test optimization allows teams to focus on the most important test while cutting unnecessary tests, which means simply we have number of test cases, we have less time to execute it. We don't know what are the like priority test cases to execute. We have assume that we have 100 test cases. We have to execute 100 test cases within the short time. One new update is coming. At that time, if you have a prioritized test cases, you can execute. Or else TOSCA also suggests based on that weightage and capabilities. So TOSCA suggests that these are the test cases are making impact hugely. So based on suggestions, if you don't have a knowledge of prioritizing the test cases, obviously we'll have everything is there. But even though TOSCA will also suggest that you can, these are the prioritized test cases based on the weightage we are providing. So we can execute those test cases so that we can cover the almost with the less test cases, we can cover almost huge coverage is there. Okay, the benefits to learn TOSCA is, as we discussed, same codeless features are suitable for less technical team members and easy to onboard new users. If you are working in the application or if you're working in some project, if some freshers are came or some new team members are came, If it is a new application for them, it is hard to train them, it is hard to onboard them. But coming to the TOSCA, you can easily train them, you can easily guide them, you can easily onboard them into the existing project. So they can understand very easily than compared to the other tools. And the another main is reusability of test cases is strong. If application, obviously when we are working in the project, the updates will come every week, every sprint, the updates will come. So after updating everything, if something is there, we have to change the codes. If you are working in other application, like if you are automating application through other automation tools, we have obviously we need to write the code. Every time we have to change the code. The reusability is less than compared to the TOSCA for them. But coming to the TOSCA, not only based on the code, even though they are changing the code also based on the UI interface it will take. For example, you can see that login, username, and they have added previously we don't have forget password option. Now they have added forget password option. But coming to the, if you are automating that application through the coding, you may need to change the code. But coming to the TOSCA, it will work on the EI basis, right? So login and password existing code will not disturb. You have to scan additional remember password option or control. You just need to add it additionally. But it will not disturb any existing modules. Almost 99% will not disturb. So the reusability of the test case is strong in future. After building the test case, anyone can run it. Anyone can just run it. Anyone can see the results whether it is getting passed or.
Uh, One question.
Yeah.
When you say reusability of test, whether the test after creating the test using the GUI interface, does it create internally, does it create any code? And that is reusable, you are telling, or the test case itself is reusable? How it is?
In both ways, I'm saying. I mean to say, we can use the test case reusability. Obviously, we are automating for that only. And in the same way, as you asked, the reusability of the code, it will not create the code at backend, but it will steer the applications through the properties of the particular controls. For example, you have button, your login username and password, you have login button. So it will steer the application based on the properties of the login. So after receiving few updates also, the obviously the login button properties may not change in future. The login name is same, that is a button only, it is not a link like that. So the reusability of the test cases obviously we will have in automation, but the code also at backend, as you said, it is not working with the code, it is working with the properties it is taking for the particular controls. So this will not change. Obviously, the reusability more than compared to other
Yeah, most of the automation tool which works on, which identifies the UI
properties.
based on
Yes,
its properties.
yes,
But it includes code. I mean, it does everything with the coding, but here it doesn't create any coding. That's what you are mean to say, right?
yes.
Okay, thanks.
And this is the TOSCA architecture. It's how it look like. Mainly, we will work with the TOSCA commander only. So this is where we are working the TOSCA commander. The TOSCA commander, we can link it to the common repository where we can store the repository or work existing work. It will store into the common repository. And we have like TDM repository also for the test data management. We have a separate server for the TOSCA. We can keep the test data here also. In the same way, we can maintain it in the separate server also. And it linked with the TOSCA server. And this is a recent feature, orchestrated service virtualization and T-Box automation tools. Now you may not understand the TOSCA complete architecture, but when we are going to the concepts one by one, then you will get to know how it is working exactly. And in the same way, we can execute CA executions, continuous integration executions, or DEX agents are there. After creating that test cases in TOSCA, we can do batch executions in the DEX event. Like without our interventions, we can execute it in the virtual machines. Like everything it supports. It supports integration, everything like that. Then the components of TOSCA, how TOSCA will work. The main components of TOSCA are four. Like it is a TOSCA repository, TOSCA commander, TOSCA wizard, and TOSCA executor. TOSCA commander is nothing but where we are working. In general, we are working in the TOSCA commander only. So TOSCA commander will work based on these three. These three will give support to the TOSCA commander. Repository, where all our existing work will be stored into the repository. So it is for storing the data, our test cases and the created modules and everything. And here TOSCA wizard is nothing but a access scan. Through the wizard only, we can steer the application. Instead of writing the code, TOSCA wizard will help us to steer the controls which are in system under test. So TOSCA wizard, we can create the modules. It will create the it will take the properties of the particular modules. So to steer the application, TOSCA wizard will help. And TOSCA executor. TOSCA execute nothing but after creating the modules and test cases, through the help of the executor, it will execute. We have different different engines are available for the TOSCA commander, SAP engine, HTML, Java, and remaining. For example, you can see if you are automating web application, automatically TOSCA will trigger HTML engine to make sure to work on the web application. If it is SAP application, it will make sure to start the engine of SAP. And in SAP, XML and APIs like that, we have several engines are there inbuilt with TOSCA and mobile and everything. Based on the application, it will automatically go through that engine and it will work with the system under test. You can see here TOSCA commander, the T-Box platform is there. First, it will go to that when we are scanning the application, it will go through the layer whether it is a SAP application, web application only. Then after going to the application, it will like you can see engine layer, X browser, XML, L3, SOAP application, XML application, like that. In the same way, execution layer also will work. When you are executing also, it will take that it will consider what is the engine it needs to be used, and based on the engine it will execute. So for scanning and also for execution also, the layer execution control layer, scan control layers obviously will find the engine layers to execute the test case or to scan the test cases or which is system under test, scan the applications. This is the basic scenario how TOSCA commander will work. Previously we have all TOSCA command components. Now here how TOSCA commander is working. We'll create, in general, we'll create modules. Then after creating the modules, we'll create test cases. We can link the requirements. If we have a requirements, we can link the requirement to the test cases. After creating the test cases, you can create execution list where we are executing the test cases to generate the reports. So after executing the test case execution list, you can generate the report. And in the same way, if you have to provide any test data through the test case design section, you can provide the test data to the test cases based on the logics and the conditions. So everything is there in the TOSCA command only. A framework. We don't need to create any framework. In other applications, we have to create writing the code somewhere and creating test cases somewhere and executing the test cases somewhere. But coming to TOSCA, everything is in the TOSCA command only. We have separate sections are there. We will create modules here, we will create test cases here, we will execute execution list here, and we can print the report through the execution list. I'll show you the application as well now, how it will work. So that you
One quick question.
Yeah, please.
There you mentioned manual test cases and automated test cases. So can we create a manual test case also in TOSCA?
Yes.
So how that will be? Because that need to be written manually, or how it is actually. The manual
No,
test cases are written in
yeah,
TOSCA.
I'll tell you one thing. we have an option called create a manual test cases. We can't execute it, but how we can write the manual test cases in Excel and everything? In the same way, we can write manual test cases if needed. This is
Okay.
not support like manual test case, but we can write there.
Okay. To create an automation test case, is it mandatory to have a manual test case, or right away we can create a test automation?
No, no, right away you can create. If you have a
Okay.
document or if you know how to create, you can create directly. No need.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And coming to the jobs in Selenium, everything you can see here. If it is posted 1 month ago only, you can see over 200 applicants are there. And here also 1 week ago, 200 applicants are there. And coming to the TOSCA, 51 days ago, but we have a less competition. What I'm trying to say is, for other automation tools, we have a huge competition. Already it is there in the market from recent 10 to 20 years. So there is a huge competition in the market then compared to the TOSCA. And the same way, there are plenty of students are all out there to search jobs in the in Selenium and EFT and Cypress. But coming to the TOSCA, what we are suggesting, it is recently came into the market. Now it is moving, like now it is boosting in the market. So almost all projects are migrating from other automation tool to the TOSCA for the easy access and everything. So obviously we'll have a good future almost for 10 to 15 years in the TOSCA, and we'll have a good chances to get the job easily than compared to the other things, other tools. You can see number of jobs updated 3 days ago, updated a 1 month ago. See, 3 weeks ago, only 13 applicants are there. Like that, we have number of jobs are there in the TOSCA. 1 week ago, 25 applicants are there. The competition is less than compared to other things, and also the application is easy to learn, so you can expect that. Now I'll move to the TOSCA application. I'll show you how it will work, how we can automate the TOSCA, how it is working, so that you will get to know how much easy it is, how can we automate the application. Starting the TOSCA application. So this is TOSCA commander. Like as I said, we will work everything in the TOSCA command only. Executor, wizard, everything will work at the backend to support this, to work it properly.
What is the license cost of TOSCA? Or do we get any trial license or something like that?
For us, we can get trial license. No issue.
Okay. How many days it will be valid? The trial license will be valid?
Actually, before this month, this year, February, before 2020 February, it is 1 year. But after February, it restricted to 2 to 3 months.
Oh, okay.
2 months is mandatory. Like 2 months is guarantee. It may support another 1 month also. If you want to register again, you can register with a new email ID and you can get the license another 2 months. Just you need to create one Gmail ID. That is enough.
Okay, got you.
Based on the demand, they are reducing that. Previously, like in last year, it is 1 year.
They
Okay.
become smart.
Yeah, this is the UI of the TOSCA commander. Okay. I'll tell you like what it is. Like these are the menu options. These are the menu options for the TOSCA. You can see project, home, view, tools, versioning, test cases, API testing. These are the menu options in TOSCA. We can call it as menu options. Then this is called ribbon. This is called ribbon. For if you go to each and every menu has separate ribbon which is having subcontrols of the related to particular menu. In the home menu, we have a ribbon called this thing. In the view, we have this one. In the tools, we have this one. Like that, For each and every menu have a separate ribbon related to that controls. This is called ribbon. Then these are called sections. Like I told you, we have separate sections are there now. So in module section, we'll create the modules based on the XScan. And in test cases section, we'll create the test cases by using the modules. And in the requirements, if we have a requirements, if we add the requirements, we can add it and you can link it to the test cases. And test case design section, there you can create the test data, you can keep the test data and you can link the test data to the test cases. And in execution, where we are going to execute the test cases for the reports, you can execute the test cases here also for in Scratchbook for temporary purpose, but the results will not save in it. If you execute the same test cases in execution list, you can see the logs, future permanent logs, you can pull the reports also. And so you can see here test cases, modules, requirement, test case design section, execution. You have a number of other sections also are there. Test planning and reporting. These are also edit configuration additional section, but we will not use it. Mainly we will use test case, modules, test case design section and requirements. Okay. These are called sections. And coming to the UA, this one, yeah, please.
What exactly is the modules have? Is it the grouping of test cases or
No,
how it is?
creating the creating the module attributes by steering the application. You'll get to know it in 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
Actually. So this is called tree view. This is called tree view, which means you can, if you have a subfolders, you can see demo level, registration, then this one, like everything is in the tree view, like a tree view. You can see it as a tree view like this. Every folder is having subfolders and subfolders are having some test cases and everything. So we can see it as a tree. So that's why it is called a tree view. And this one is called detailed view. If you click on anything, the detailed view of the particular folder and particular test case, you can see here the value of that one action mode we are going to see everything. So if I click on this one, you can see the detailed view here. If I open this one, clicking and everything. The detailed views we can see here. So this is called detailed view. If you click on any folder and test case and test step, you can see the detailed view of the particular test step or test case or folder and everything. And coming to this, if you want to adjust, you can adjust this like this. And coming to this, you can see icon here. If you click on this one, this is called properties pane, which means what are the detailed view of the particular thing you can see here, right? In the same way, the properties of the particular thing you can see here. If you click on here, you can see the properties here. In the same way, if you click on like this in the detailed view also, the particular things of the properties, what are the properties the test cases or test steps are having, you can see here in the properties pane. And this is called status bar. What are the things you are doing here? You can see it in the status bar. If you are checking checkout whether it is done or not like that, you can see the status bar. It is ready. So as I said, these are the menu option. This is called ribbon. These are called sections. This is called preview. This is called this display this view, and this is called properties pane. In the detailed view, if you want to adjust everything, like you can adjust like this based on your requirement. And this one also in the properties pane also, this tree view also. And this is called status bar. Now we can try to automate one application. Like we can say any scenario. We can do this thing. For example, when we are doing automation, obviously you will get the document from the functional tester or manual tester like this, you have to do in this way. So at the same time, I'm replicating the scenario with the demo webshop registration process, which means we have to open the URL first, then I'll just open here. It will open. This is the one of the like demo website which is provided by the Tricentis only for the practicing purpose. For practicing purpose, this website is developed by the Tricentis company only to work with the Tricentis TOSCA tool. Okay, so I have opened it, then clicking on register link, then enter required details. Just clicking on register, then enter required details. What are those are there? Like that we can enter. Then click on register button, then click on continue, verify logged in user, whether the logged in user is same or not, which we have registered. Clicking on logout and close the application. This assume that this is the scenario we have received from the functional tester. They are asking us to automate the application, this process, automate this process, registration process. Okay, so we can try to automate it in a quick way. First of all, the first step is opening the URL, right? So we just need to, we have a folder in test cases. First of all, we have to create the test case, right? I have created now folder here. Then I'm right clicking on this one. If you right click on the folder exactly here on the folder, you can see this option, create test case. Create test case, which means we are creating a test case. We have created test case. Then we can name it. It is a test case of registration, right? Provide rich. Then the first one is open URL. Here the main advantage of the TOSCA is we don't need to write, like we don't need to create the modules for the repeated ones also. We have some standard modules are there inbuilt in the TOSCA. They are provided by the Tricentis company only. Standard modules are there, which means what are the things are common in every application, like opening the URL, which means if we want to open some URL, it is common. Every application, everywhere, if it is a banking domain or everything, it is common. In the same way, if you want to close the application, in the same way, if you want to like do some comparisons or folders, if you want to create any folders in the existing local machine, and if you want to convert it to the decimals, like what are the things are common except like applications. We don't need to depending on the application, everywhere it is common. So for those we have a standard modules for wait for some time between executing from one step to one step. Like that we have a standard modules, plenty of standard modules are available here. So with those standard modules, we no need to create the modules, we just use it. What are the modules we have required, we can use them, we can create them, that's it. For the common repeated scenarios, we can use for the file operations, for the database operations, for HTML operations. Now, in our scenario, we need to open the URL. For opening URL, we don't need to create and everything, we need to write. Just if we go to HTML, standard modules, then tbox X engines, opening URL related to HTML, right? In HTML folder, you can see open URL. Just you need to drag and drop this. So don't click on here, click on here, exactly here, not here, here. Just to drag it, and we need to do it in the test case, right? Just go to the test cases section. Obviously, if you'll open that section, then drop it onto the test case. Simple. We have already module. So we just, I am dragging it from here and dropping it onto the test case. Okay.
Sir, can we create a new module or only we have to utilize already existing ones? Is
No,
there
no.
option to create our own?
We have to create new module. For the common scenarios, we have existing modules to avoid the time wastage. In general application, obviously we don't have, right? We have to create a module.
Yes. Oh,
So for this we have, so we are using I have to provide URL. So I have provided URL. That's it. So if I open this, if I run this, if you right click on the particular step, you can see the option run in Scratchbook. Okay, if I run this, see, it is opened. Okay, it opened that URL. Right. Okay, then our next step is click on register link. Open URL is common, right? So we have used standard module. So if I want to click on register, this is a new application, demo app shop. In somewhere you have a login to SBI. SBI has some register option, but all are different, right? That is different application. This is different application. Obviously, we don't have these controls in our TOSCA. What are the process operations are common? They have created standard module for this process, closing that opening application and clicking on somewhere based on the horizontal and vertical axis like that they have created. But these we have to scan. The 50% of the work is in the TOSCA is to create the modules. Like in the same way, creating modules, nothing but writing the code. There we are writing the code. Here we are creating modules. If you create the modules, then it is easy to create the test cases. 50% of the work is on the creating modules only. So I'm just going to the modules. We don't have this control. We have to scan this control. See how TOSCA will work. Just I have to create modules, right? I'm going to the module section. Then I'm creating new module, new folder here. Just a moment. Then if you right click on the folder, you can see scan option here. I'm just right clicking on the folder, then you can see scan option. This you go to scan, it will show different application like application API, mobile, PDF, remote terminal means this one, IBM Access AS400 applications like that. So if you click on application, what are the available windows are there in open state, it will steer that. See, this one is open state, so it is showing this, and it is showing desktop, and it is showing this one. So we have to do we have to select that one, which one you need to scan, which window you need to scan. I have to scan this window. I am just selecting it. After opening the application, I am just selecting it and clicking on scan, which means this scan window, which means the TOSCA wizard will steer all the controls which are available in the page to this window. It will show all the controls available in this window to this one. Okay, if you want to select it by the view, you can select it on with the select on screen. If I click on select on screen, which one I want to scan? This one I want to scan. I have clicked on it. Just I am selecting it. So TOSCA steer that control. We did nothing. We just selected it. I want to use this register. So I have selected it. And in the same way, I have to select this one also. We are not using login, but if you want to select it, select it. Then TOSCA steer this control. How TOSCA is steering this control? Based on the tag and inner text, based on the properties is taking. By inbuilt, it is taking. Okay. Here it is taking tag as A, which means it is a link. So that's why tag is A. Inner text as registered. And if you want to use some other properties you can use. In the same way, login button also it is taking by using the properties automatically. If it is unique, if it is, you can see if you scanned any control, if it is unique, it will show the selected item is unique. So it will work. If it can't find automatically for enough properties for the particular control, it will show it is in ununique state like that. For example, I am removing intentionally, I am removing in the text. See, it is in the yellow mark. It is showing that the selected item is not unique, which means we have to make it unique. By default, almost everywhere it will take the unique only. To show this, I am just remove the existing property. So as of now, we don't need this. We just need register, right? I'm just taking the register. Then just need to save it, close it. Enough. Save and close. We have created module for register, right? You can name it as okay. We have created module. In the same way, if you want to use it in the test case, just drag it and drop it onto the which test case you have to use. And if you want to change the name here, we have to change. You can change here. Click on register. What is the thing you have to do in general manual also? You are clicking this, right? If it is a text box, you can enter. If it is a link or button, you need to click it, right? In the same way, we have to click it, right? I'm just giving click here. That's it. So if I run this one, it click done. Then we have to, for registration process, what is the next step? Enter required detail and click on register button, which means we have to enter the required details. What are the mandatory fields? You have to click on register. Same way, we don't have this. We have to scan it. I'm just again right clicking on it and scanning it. Application. Selecting the window, which window you have to scan. Select that window and click on scan. And this is the scan window. Then if you want to select it, you can select on here, or if you want to select from here also, you can select from here also. See, you can see the controls. If you want to know which control it is, just click on it and do highlight selection. It will show which control it is. See. Or if you are getting confused like this, if you want to do it by the select on screen, you just need to select on screen. Then select what are the things. I'm selecting male, female, first name, last name, email, password, this one. No need to, we shouldn't select here. It is a label, it is a text box. Where we have to enter the value, that thing we have to select. If you click on this one also, it will show some label, male. But we have to click here, right? So that's why I'm selecting here. In the same way, if we want to enter that last name, we shouldn't select here, we should select here. Here only we are entering value, right? So here we are selecting. In the same way, password and confirm password. Then register button we have to click. So I have scanned, everything is in unique state only. No need to do anything. Want to check, you can check also. But obviously everything is in unique state. So I am just saving it, closing it. Okay. Then want to use it in the test case, drag it, drop it onto the test case. Here I have to enter details, right? Naming convention is our thing. It is not mandatory. If you give naming convention like here, by seeing the test case, you can see what is the process going on here like that. So for here, I want to select male. If you want to select male, we'll click right. So I'm providing click. Or female, if you want to click on female, you can click on female. First name, providing Sai. Second name, K. and email is something. When we are going to register into the application, any application, obviously if we have a existing email, it will throw an error, right? This email is existed by logging to the Facebook or Instagram if you're registering in any application. So obviously we have to provide a new email ID which is not available, which is not existed. So I am providing Sai Kumar 765432 at the rate Gmail. It is for testing purpose only. We no need to give original email ID. We can give dummy email ID which is in the same format. At the rate of gmail.com is necessary. We can give any email like thing which is not available also. Password also you can give any random 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Instead of hard coding these values, can we parameterize this one?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
And after entering the values, you're clicking on register, right? We can parameterize. We can parameterize it through the buffers, to the TCPs, and through the test design section. For that, for demo purpose, I'm hard coding it. If you go through the concept, they'll get confused. Okay.
Okay.
So I provided Sai and last name K and this value and password and this one register. Okay, I'm just running it. Executed. Then our next step is click on continue, verify logged in user, click on logout, close application. Click on continue. Obviously we don't have this one. We have to scan this. So I'm going to module. I'm just opening the scan window through the scan and then selecting the application. Then continue, right? Up to now I am selecting through this, right? Now I'll select from the list. From list also you can select. I know it is a button, so you can see Q search. This is a button. You can see okay. If I click, if you want to confirm that whether it is same or not, select it and do highlight selection. It is same. So I am selecting it. After selecting it, you can see it is in unique state only. So just you need to save it, close it. Continue button. Then going to click it as I am providing click. I'm running it. Okay. If you want to verify the email ID also, you can scan this and verify it. Or if you want to skip this also, you can skip this one and you can do log out and closing application. We can follow the document. They are asking us to verify the email also. We have to scan that one also. I'm just doing scan again, application. Selecting the application. Now I'm going to scan. It is in the same page. Verification. We are not inputting. We are not doing anything, right? We are not doing anything. We are just doing the verification only. Whether the Sai Kumar 765432 same or not. And it is in the same window. No need to scan separate modules for separate controls. If you assume, if you have a like scenario for all, you can use in the future also you can use this all 4 controls. You can scan all 4 controls in one module only. No issues. If the window is only changing, if it is navigating to another window, then only we should scan it separately. If it is there in the same application, you can scan all the controls in the one module only. You can scan if you want to do operation on these books. No need to create books again, computers, electronics. You can scan all you can steer all the controls in one module also. So for this, in this scenario, I'm verifying it and doing logout. So the window is not getting changed. I'm just selecting it both at one module only. Sai Kumar. Then logout. Okay. So Sai Kumar I have selected. Then in the same way, I have selected logout also. You can see logout button. Then both are in unique state. So I'm just saving it and closing it. You can have a module here. So I'm dragging it and dropping it onto the registration. Just click on it. Here it is verify user and log out. Or if you want to while doing registration, we have entered hard-coded value, right? I'm using the same hard-coded value, whether it is showing the same user or not. I have provided here, up to here, we are inputting, like we are entering value to the text box. So that's why we have used the action mode as input. Now here we are not inputting anything. We are just verifying whether it is same or not. I have provided value, the action mode, I am changing it to verification. It will verify whether the same is there or not. Then I'll do logout. For the logout, we have to click. So I'm using it. As of now, I'm just showing. I'll just run this one only. First one. You can see in the scratchbook, verification was successful. Every scratchbook, it will show like this only. Like expected value is this one and actual value also same. So it got passed. Then after verification, if you want to do logout here only, or else if you want to do it separate step as a separate step, again drag and it, dropping it onto this one and do logout here. No issue. Or if you want to do it in the same way, same step only, I'm just deleting it, I'm doing same logout here only. So it will verify the user and it will click on the logout.
Hello, one question here.
Yeah, please.
Now these are the web screens are testing is common. Just I'm trying to understand how it will test for the procedures, sequence, and Python programming. Is it possible?
Testing the programs.
Yeah, suppose I have one Python program.
Okay.
Then how we need to integrate for this?
Oh no, we can't test the programs actually. We can automate, we can test the applications, variant of applications, but we can't test the programs with the TOSCA.
Oh, any type of SQL procedures, Python, Spark.
No, we can't. Okay. Then coming to this one, we are verifying logged in user, we're clicking on logout, then we have to close the application. Close the application means general process. Don't need depending on anyone. Closing application is common for every application. So for that, we'll have a standard module. You can go HTML only, right? In HTML, you can see close browser. We are closing the browser, right? I'm just dragging it, dropping it onto the registration, then close browser. For closing browser, for opening URL, you should have separate URL because we need to open the URL. Whatever the URL we are going to open, we should have that one. But closing, we don't need to provide any URL. You can see this one, title. For every window, there is a title. You open something, this is called title. So every window, there is a title. Instead of giving URLs, you can give this title. What is the title name is, you should give exactly. So it will close this browser. If we have a Amazon, we should give Amazon. Now we have demo web shop. It is case sensitive, we have to give exactly same. So demo web shop. I'm just running it. Okay, this is how it will work. Now I can run whole the test case again, but if you want to make it work again, we have to change one data. Why? Because as I told you, like as you know, if you are registering into the application, the same email ID if it exists, it will throw an error. So we have to use another email ID. Everything is same. If you use different data, it will work. So instead of that one, I'm using Sai Kumar. And here Sai Kumar 75433. I'm using instead of 2, I'm using 3. If you are logged into this email, which means you have to verify this email only, right? I'm just giving the same email ID. So as mentioned in the document, launching the application, registration, click, enter required details. Launching the application, click on register, enter required details. Then click on continue, verify user and doing logout, then close browser. I'll run all these things at the same time. Let's see. It opened the application, it is clicking on register. Then clicked on mail, it entered details, clicked on register. Then it clicked on continue. It is verifying the email ID, doing logout and closing the application. See how much fast it is. In 16 seconds, the entire process is completed. You can see 16 seconds, 351 milliseconds. In 16 seconds, entire process is getting completed. If we have huge range of data, 100 or 200 of data, if you want to do the same operation for manual tester, for functional tester, how much time it will take? Assume. And for other automating applications also, how much time it will take. But coming to the TOSCA, how much fast it is, how much effective it is, you can see. In 16 seconds, entire process getting completed for the execution. And it won't take
I have one question. So let's say after clicking on button or link, it takes some time to respond. Like it is taking some time to display the next step.
Exactly.
So how we can implement the sleep or wait method here?
Yes, we can have, that is a common thing, right? So for that also we have standard module. That is a common thing. We know we have to wait for some time. Some applications may take too much time, some applications they may take less time. You can use static wait. I'm just dragging it and dropping it onto it. We want it after opening URL, right? I'm just in wait for some time. Wait for 20 seconds or something. Wait for 20 seconds. I'm providing 20 seconds. You can use static wait. Here we have to provide some static wait, which means you have to provide in a milliseconds. 20 seconds means 20,000 milliseconds. I have to give in a milliseconds the value. So
Is there anything something like conditional wait or something like that?
Yeah, we
Or
can.
just a static?
No. We have dynamic wait also. Everything is there in TOSCA. We have dynamic wait also. For example, you have opened this application. If you provide static wait, it will wait for the 20 seconds. Or
Correct.
you don't need to wait. If you open the application, it need to be moved to the next step immediately. So that we have separate synchronization wait on is there. If you provide register button is visible like that. If once the TOSCA identify register button, it will move to the next step immediately without waiting one time. It may take 1 second, it may take 10 seconds, it may take 100 seconds. Whenever it finds the next step, it will execute next step. We have static wait time, dynamic wait time, both we can do. There doesn't no need to use only static wait time. Based on our application, we can use. We can dynamic wait also. Whether the control is visible, it will move to the next step. If it is not visible, until that time it will wait. We provided 200 seconds for the dynamic wait for opening URL to this step. If it is finding this step, which means already loaded, it will execute. If you provided 200 seconds also, if it is finding this control in 1 second, it will next step will execute after that. If it is finding in 10 seconds, it will execute next step after 10 seconds. If it is not finding, it will wait up to 200 seconds. The maximum time is like that only. But meantime, it can find, it will go. It is a static wait time.
By default, is there any wait time between each events, like
Yes.
each test steps?
Yes, by
Where it's been
default.
defined?
Yes. By default, for this step to this step, it is 10 seconds.
Can we
default,
change that?
Now we can change it. Based on the application, we can change it, no issues. No need to
Where
change
we
it.
can change it? Where
No
we
need-
can change?
Yeah, okay. We can change it at the settings level, project level. But if we change it at the project level, it will apply to the whole folder, whole project.
Okay.
But what in our scenarios, we were dealing with multiple applications, multiple modules. In that type of scenarios, you can go here. Here, how I can change? Here I am changing TCP to Chrome, which means it need to be executed to the Chrome. In the same way, we want to change it for another thing. Synchronization timeout. By default, it is 10 seconds. If you provide 20 seconds, enough. It
Got
will,
it.
by default, it will take 20 seconds.
Got it.
If you're thinking that it should apply for a whole folder, if you apply here, it will apply for whole test cases. If you apply here, it will apply for all sub test cases. If you apply here, it will apply for a whole unit. Based on a requirement, we can do. Okay. Any doubts on this?
So is it the same how we have done for the web application? Is it the same way we have to do it for mobile and desktop applications, or is there any difference between automating the web application and the desktop
No.
applications?
For desktop and for SAP also same way. We have to scan it. We have to create model. We have to do testing, create test cases.
Oh,
In the same
okay.
way, we have coming to the SAP and all. We have modules right here. In the same way,
Yeah.
we have separate modules also for SAP.
Yeah.
We have separate SAP modules like that. We can use them. The
Yeah.
process is same. Way of approach is same. The application is different. That's it.
Got it.
Excuse me, is there any way to connect to the database?
Yes, we have. We can.
Oh, that again comes under standard modules, right?
Yes. The connection is different. We can provide SQL and everything. There you can provide the SQL query. You can verify the tables and everything. You can see database modules.
Right.
We can open the connection, and here you can run SQL statement. The result table we can verify whether with that SQL query we are getting the same table or not. We can verify here only.
Okay. Okay.
Anything?
Can we see the parameterization part if possible? Means using the test case design part, that is the feeding test data.
Yeah, it will take too much time, but not
Okay.
to be parameterized. But we can see, for example, through the test case design section, we can parameterize through the TCPs we have provided here, right? In the same way,
Right.
we can parameterize, and through using buffers also we can parameterize. We have number of ways. For example, I'll do a simple one. This one also I
Okay.
can show, but it is a huge thing. But
Okay.
instead of Sai, if I want to user some user CP of user. See, if I right click on do translate value, you can see ASG@gmail.com. I have provided in TCP user.
Right.
In TCP we can call system defined TCPs, which means browser settings and everything. Whatever setting we have. In the same way, we can have a user defined TCPs also. If you want to parameterize, you can parameterize here also. You can use with the syntax. That's it. So we can't see anything.
Okay. Okay.
But if I want to bring it from outside, like, from Excel spreadsheet or from JSON file or from property file.
Yeah, with the Excel also we can have Excel handlings and everything. For JSON file, we have to go through the APIs. Through the API, you can have a JSON file.
No. I'm talking about feeding the data, parameterizing the data. If I'm getting the data from the Excel or from the JSON,
We can with the test case design section, not from JSON, but in this test case design section, we can get it from the Excel also. And as I told you, for JSON all the things, we have separate concept like test data services. It is a separate concept, and for a separate server is there. As I told you previously, so it is a separate server. we have a separate standard module for the data also. Everything is in the repository, like separate repository. We can call it by the using standard modules. It is the
Got it,
advanced
got
one for the TOSCA. But
Okay.
in TOSCA Component, we can do it with the TOSCA Vision.
What we do in test case design actually here in automation?
Yeah, in generally, for example, I have this test case. So for this test case, you are using plenty of data, right? Instead of hard coding it, it shouldn't be good. If someone is asking for a client or something or is asking for demo, if you're giving demo and if you're showing it looks not good and in the same way like that, na? If you created a separate test sheet for the test cases, you can link the test sheet to the test case, and you can provide all the data here, so that you can looks like it Excel references only it fills like CP of user in the same way Excel of user or something you can provide, so that it shouldn't be hard coded. In the same way, for example, assume that you have 100 number of steps here, right? 100 number of steps here. You are using, out of 100, you are using this email ID at 20 steps. If you hard coded it, if you want to update any email ID, you have to do it in 20 steps. If you pass it through the 2CD, if we have a test sheet, if we update here email ID, reference only we are using, that link only. If we change here, obviously it will apply to the all 20 steps.
Okay. And there is one more requirements tab. Is it the actual application requirements or the software requirements can be stored here?
Yeah, for the requirements tab, we can link the requirements. Like
Okay, to the test cases.
Yes, we can link the requirements. We can create the requirements here, and in the same way, we can link the requirements here. After linking the requirements, we can see the tables like structural. How many requirements are there? How many test cases are linked? And in the same way, you can link executions also, so that how many requirements are there, how many test cases are created, how many executions are completed for that. So you can have a high level picture coverage of the requirements.
Okay. Can you just show me how to link with the requirement one test case? Because you already created a test case. You just create dummy requirement and just link that if it's possible.
Okay. I have created dummy requirement here. So I have created folder requirement set. Then I have created requirement. If I give any value, like if I have something values like name or users like or demo like that. If I want to link this to the particular requirement, it will show like here, and in the same way, if you execute in the execution list, it will show here. Okay. In the same way, if we execute it, we have a requirement of like demo, and you can mention the numbers like weightage, how much weightage it is having, how much damage class it is having, how much frequency. If you provide damage class and frequency class, based on this, it will give this one. For example, if you got 100 test cases, okay, assume that you got 100 test cases for the demo. If you link that 100 test cases to the requirement, and if you link whole test cases, or you can link these things to the particular things, you can have a how many things are there, whether all requirements are executed or not here, and in the same way, all execution lists are passed or not. If you create in a particular structure way, you will get to know that completely. But the process is same. First, we need to create the requirement set, then this thing. We are linking test cases to the requirement, we are linking executions to the requirement set. So that you will get to know that how many, see here, coverage specified and how much coverage is done, execution status, how much percentage is done. If we have a plenty of requirement, then you will get to know high level picture.
Good.
Okay, what is the total cost of the total license if I take it for, say, let's say 5 years or maybe just 1 year?
It is around, I'm not sure actually. From February onwards, previously I have, from February onwards, it got changed. It is huge only. I mean,
Okay,
not
okay.
that much huge, but companies can afford it easily. But
But
for us,
but
definitely, please.
yeah,
Compared to UFT, is it costlier or how it is?
Compared to FT, it is little bit higher, little bit higher.
Costlier? Okay. Because UFT itself is more costlier. Okay.
but in
So the
UFT you
application,
got a link to QC as well, right? HPALM.
we can, yes, we can, for TOSCA also, we can integrate with HPLM, Q test, Jira.
Okay, okay. But you'll have to have to pay separately for that, right?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, so it comes as a package.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And also saw that there's a link to Selenium. I'm not sure as to how exactly they do it for Selenium. I mean, is it for the coding part or is it for something like library or something like that?
No. For the Selenium, they have added, but still, they also not provided exactly what it is doing. They have created models, and in the
Okay.
future,
So it's
set
still in a
applications.
development process, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
And what about the reporting? Any option for reports?
Yeah, if we execute it here, after executing it, if you right click on it, just simply you will get the report. For example, hitting here, print report. If you click on print report, I have executed in execution list. It is getting failed. If it is getting passed or failed, if you right click on the execution list, you can have a print report. We can print the report with the general logs and actual logs and issues also with the detailed logs, every step, every data it will come. We can have a report in PDF format or Word format based on our requirement. For the testing purpose, we can have a scratch book. For testing purpose, creating that is working or not, the logs will not save. After developing the test case, if you execute in the execution list, you can print the report. The logs will save permanently. See, previously it got us today, and this one is getting failed. So logs are will permanently there.
Is there a chance to integrate our own API available reports, open source reports? Something like, say, extend reports or things like that?
Own API integrate this. No, for integration, I think the available platforms only will support.
Okay.
I can't say like it is support.
Okay. Okay.
You also said CA integration at the starting. So how does it, is it inbuilt or do we again have to use Jenkins for it?
Jenkins, we have to use Jenkins.
Okay.
And what about this one, automatic mail configurations? If at all, let's say, for example, a test case fails, then it should have to trigger a mail saying that this script has failed or something like that. So how do we get that report?
You mean to say if test case is getting failed, it should automatically send a report, right?
Yes.
By
Yes.
linking this, I think we can't. By with the TOSCA command inbuilt it can, but if you integrate it with some other application, it may have. But inbuilt we can.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that then we'll have to do it through Jenkins and
Something, yeah,
okay.
integrated
Okay.
applications.
Right. What's the use of virtual folders?
Virtual folders are nothing but with the help of the virtual folders, we can create dummy test cases and everything. There is not that much use with them, but they have created separate options like virtual folders. We can create dummy
Okay.
test cases. We can see that's it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Can we run it on multiple remote machines and parallel browsers, something like that?
We can have a separate cross-browser testing, like we can execute it through different browsers, and in the same way, in the backend machine, we can execute with the help of the DEX. We can have in the executions, we can have a test events. Through the test events, we can execute it in the backend, like virtual machines. If you set up configure some machines in there, if you trigger this execution list, so it will execute through that machine. So we can do our own work in our local machine. At the backend also, these test cases will get executed in that backend local backend virtual machines. So by taking the updater, you can have a report in your local machine. No, we
Okay,
can do
so
that.
it supports remote execution then.
Yes.
Okay. And also parallel execution supported, right?
Parallel cross browser, but at same time parallel it can support parallel executions with multiple browsers, but it can support cross browsers.
Okay. Yeah, cross browser support will be there, but for parallel execution, it's not there, right?
Yes, yes. For Selenium it is there, but for TOSCA,
Yeah.
parallel execution is not there. Yeah.
Okay.
What is this interactive testing? An option is there.
You mean to say it's that?
Yes, yes, this one. Or what is, I mean, exploratory is kind of, okay, exploration.
Like a manual testing.
Right. So interactive is kind of maybe it's interacting with the UI.
To be frank, even I also don't have an idea. Still, I
Oh,
didn't use
okay.
in my
Okay.
technical career.
Okay. Okay. No issues.
Any other questions?
So we can create our own recovery scenario because
Yeah.
we have options to, I can see there are options for recovery. So we can
Yes,
mention based on the events. Huh?
yes, we can mention based on the test case. We can mention this for another class. I am just showing it, but we can create the recovery scenarios also. If test case is getting failed, we can create the recovery scenarios there. With the help of the recovery scenarios, we can make it the test case
Where
for
we have to create the recovery scenarios actually.
test cases.
In test case only we have to create.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, that's all.
That's all.
Nothing
Thank you very
else?
much.
Yeah.